Greetings, viewers. We are Don151 in Mekkah,
Hi.
and you're watching Chapter 20X of my Fire Emblem 6 Hard Mode 0% Gross playthrough. So as we're all aware by now, every guided map has its gimmick, and Mekkah, what is the gimmick for this guided map?
The gimmick for this guided map is amazing, boring 40 HP walls, which is 60 HP weaker than most of the walls in this game, but apparently they thought it was sufficient to protect the treasure of this chapter. I don't know why, but that's how it is.
Well, I'm quite glad that they're not 100 HP walls, because we had quite a bit of trouble dealing with them back when we saw them in chapters 11 and 16.
Yeah, walls are actually more annoying than enemies, I think, especially because they have so much more HP and they don't suicide on you. They just sit there and wait for them to break.
And you can't double them unless you use a brave weapon like Shin is doing right here. Go Shin.
Yeah, Shin just broke the only wall that we're gonna break, and we're just gonna ignore this chapter's gimmick like we've been ignoring gimmicks pretty much all game long. We break this wall down just so we can stand in a place where we can warp Perceval and then Milady towards the center where the throne room is.
Yeah, you might have noticed from the preparations menu that there were 3 separate groups of units in this chapter. That's another one of the gimmicks, but we're not going to be using the 3-group gimmick. We actually really only need 1, and we left Fa in the top right-hand corner of the map for reasons that you'll soon see on enemy phase. But the reason why we concentrated our units in the bottom group is because Roy is there, and we need to move Roy to the throne in order to win the chapter. So unfortunately, that group is farthest away from the throne, but we don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, I feel like this chapter's better gimmick is actually the one you mentioned, where they split up your group and then try to get to you with a bunch of different types of units, with some with status saves and some just really strong. And just kind of hope you split up your army in order for every group to become weaker. But obviously it didn't work on you because you just concentrated everyone on the bottom and won out.
Yes, indeed. So the reason why we deployed Fa in this map is because she serves as the perfect staff bait. You might have recalled our explanation in the previous chapter that units near the bottom of the deployment order are prioritized first for the enemy staff AI. So Fa's at the very bottom, and you might also recall from chapter 16 that she has a base 26 resistance, which means that against these enemy druids, she only faces somewhere around like 42 hit, because the enemy druids have a maximum of 29 magic, and most in this chapter I think have something around like 27 or 28.
Yeah, either we're back in chapter 1, or I just saw you use a vulnerary in chapter 20X. I am very confused.
Well, 10 HP matters. Perceval has a tough time dealing with that enemy swordmaster. Actually, that enemy swordmaster is probably more of a threat than the boss. Swordmasters have their huge 30 crit bonus, and this guy also has a killing edge, so he has a base 72 crit and 26 attack, which means he can do 30 or 33 damage to Perceval if he crits, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I see now. So I guess he's just making sure he doesn't die to a crit. We saw Milady getting warped in and dropping Roy. This formation makes sure that Roy doesn't get attacked by the swordmaster, but instead he can get attacked by this longbow sniper, but he's not fast enough to double him, so Roy is relatively safe. How's this boss kill?
This boss is a bit easier than the boss in the previous chapter. They're both general bosses who use lances, but this guy has a lot less defense, so he gets 3 hit KO'd. The difference here is, though, that Perceval has to miss one of his first attacks, because otherwise the enemy boss gets put down to so low HP that one of the druids is going to use a physics staff to heal him back up, and that's bad, because it puts him out of KO range.
That is pretty weird. Everyone else doesn't really have much to do, so both Shin and Nime are working on their weapon experience, actually. And Nime actually took an angelic robe, and so did Milady at some point.
Yep, there's really not much going on in this chapter. I'm a bit more looking forward to the next one, actually.
Yeah, I am actually very, very hyped for chapter 21. It's like Fire Emblem famous.
Yes. Anyway, Roy seizes the throne, and he gets the Divine Lance Maltet as the reward for his efforts. So that's chapter 20X completed in 3 turns. We will see you next time.
See ya.